How would you like 3 truths that are going to change your life forever? Everything you know is a lie. I remember I was in a synagogue, fortunate of Daniel Levy, who passed away. Great man. So, in his synagogue, there was a little book. I went to the bookshelf, I took it out. It was a Kabbalistic book. And it said something extraordinarily profound. It said, every time you look, you see a lie. You know, reality, let's just say the 3 truths and you'll get it yourself. Truth number 1 is that besides God, nothing exists. Even scientifically, right? There were basically 2, I don't know what's called, maybe cosmology. There are 2 theories of the existence of matter, right? Because matter, the fact that the planet exists, where does that come from? So the 2 theories, the famous one that Aristotle said and a lot of people thought, it always existed. But it turns out that that's not correct. The Big Bang Theory, which I'm sure you've heard of, proves that all of matter, now you have to understand what this means. Scientists, so this is not, even though what's quite amazing is Kabbalah says this as well, so it's the convergence, as Kabbalah predicted that in the year 1840, remember this is 2,000 years before, approximately, God will open the floodgates of wisdom of above and below, and they'll converge in anticipation of the coming of the Mashiach. So Kabbalah says the same thing, and that is that the entire universe, think about, there are, 100 billion stars in a galaxy, maybe even more. Every star has planets, just like we're the solar system. There's a sun, and there's the planets, and there's the moons. Now imagine how big our whole planet is, a dot compared to the sun. Right? And the sun itself is just a normal sized star. So you're talking 100 billion and 100 billion galaxies with all, it's like unfathomable the amount, the size of it, right? And all of that, the actual size, is actually the size of a single electron. Just to put it into words that we can understand, imagine a mustard seed, a tiny little, tiny, this tiniest seed you can imagine is the actual size, meaning the real size. Everything else, it's electrons floating around the proton and the neutron, and basically it's all empty space. They create electrical charges. It's like blown up beach balls that are kind of hanging out together. So before the universe, now the other thing is that you have to understand is that there's no such thing as space, right? Space itself is an illusion. What is space? Space is a place where an object can move in between. So at the very beginning, before there was anything, there was no time, there was no space, there were no objects, there was nothing. And everybody agrees to that now. And now, what God did is He created the tiniest, what's called koyach hiyuli, like the potential matter. And then He created what we would call scientifically the Big Bang. He created the outward movement. We actually have microwave evidence, very beautiful actually, the 300,000th second after that initial Big Bang, that radiation is here, and you can see it in the whole universe. Basically is like this egg. And then the universe, what it does is it just continuously expands. And that's a miracle, because what's making it expand all the time, right? So it's just a miracle. Now, the universe, God took all that matter in the 7 days of creation. That's actually very interesting. It says, Bereshis bara Elokim es hashamayim v'ha'aretz. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. And in that single statement, all of heaven and all of earth was created, but it was in a kind of a potential format. Then God took like that Play-Doh and He made the sun, the moon, the stars, and He turned it all into whatever He wanted to. And now that makes a lot of sense because we know everything's atoms, just how you mix it. So, truth number 1 is that creation is not a reality. Meaning the tree, the computer that you're looking at, computer screens are a really good example. Are computer screens real? So the answer is they create images. Are those images real? Obviously those images aren't real. If they were real, they'd be stuck. They're not stuck, they can change. And the same thing is with everything that exists. None of it is real. It's just divine energy. That's what it is. And in fact, quantum physics teaches us something. I haven't seen this in Kabbalah, but when you look at it, it becomes stationary. In other words, anything that you don't look at is in a wave format. It's moving. When you look at it, it becomes stationary. So what does that actually mean? It means we're in a video game. So to sum up exactly what this means, we are in a screen. And in fact, scientists have they theorize if we're in a game, there would be certain markers in the universe, and they found it. So in other words, we are in a video game. So what's the game? Well, the game is to find the truth. That's the game. Because you could live like a rat, which is you've got instincts to eat, to procreate, and one fine day, however your biology and whatever forces are out there, God forbid we pass away. So you could live like a rat, and a lot of people have lived like rats. But we're not rats. We have a mind. We have prefrontal lobes. We are divine. We feel that things need to be good, not bad. Where does that come from? Rats don't care about other rats. They don't care about the state of the rat universe. We do, because we have part of God in us. So we are a combination of two forces. We have a rat force in us, same kind of instincts. In fact, when they do tests, they do it on, I think, mice or rats, because there's a lot of similarities, believe it or not, between us and rats. However, we're not rats. We can think, and we can say something's wrong here. This is not the way it should be. And we can seek the truth. And this is the third truth that exists. Just as the physical universe needs a constant force, and science has discovered what Kabbalah has told us, the universe was not created. It's like a video game. A video game is being created as you play the game. So all the characters, all the kind of laws, the physics, the whole thing is being created as we speak. And the individual has experiences, right? Let's say you're put into a video game. You experience different things. And then you realize something's wrong. There's a world that we're in. Something doesn't make sense. And you seek the truth. But remember, God is beyond the whole thing. The whole video game to the creator is like nothing. So to God, He wants to help you. That's what it is. It's exactly like a guy who makes the game. What do you want? You want to help the guy win the game. Why? Because you love him. You want him to be proud. You don't care about the little characters, the little nemesis in the game. That was only for the player. Everything that exists is for you to be able to be proud of yourself for winning the game. And when you seek the truth will find you.